Ben Shapiro is perhaps the most influential and important speaker of our lives. However, in some moments he can be quite spontaneous, and in this video we will be taking a look at those exact moments. This video is all about Ben Shapiro moments nobody expected. Let's dive right in. Number 1. The finger. In this clip, Ben is giving a speech when a group of protesters walk by and yell while he's talking. Ben Shapiro then proceeds to write the word morons on the blackboard behind him, obviously referring to them, but it gets even crazier. Ben Shapiro flips off the protesters.
Do you know me? Do I know you? Like, how do you know anything about me? Why am I a white supremacist?
So after he writes morons on the blackboard behind him, the protesters start to scream, and Ben isn't having any of that. After the protesters proceed to leave the building, Ben does what no one was expecting, and it was hilarious.
Because you guys are here shouting down people who are speaking. Really? Okay, last time. How what starts? How what starts? What are you even talking about? What is it? And why, if you have a question, why don't you just ask it? I'm happy to talk with you, but this is nonsensical. This doesn't.
Number 2. Idiotic. In this next clip, an African-American woman protested some things that had recently happened to her community by climbing the Statue of Liberty, and when Ben Shapiro is asked what he thinks about the situation, he slams it instantly, saying it was idiotic.
Our beloved First Lady that I care so much about said, when they go low, we go high, and I went as high as I could.
Here with me now, Ben Shapiro, editor-in-chief of the dailywire.com. Ben, 2 hours she was perched on that statue. What did you think of this stunt?
I mean, it's idiotic. They then had to evacuate the entire island because they decided to do this.
Ben continues to slam this protest, saying it was a horrible idea and an extremely inappropriate way to protest. This is not what people were expecting him to say. The statement shocked many as they weren't expecting that kind of reaction.
The real issue with the stunt is not that someone is pulling a public relations ploy in order to get media attention. People do this sort of thing all the time. The point is this actually productive for her cause? Like, let's say that you were her, you were she, and you thought that you were going to bring attention to this particular cause. Is the best way to do that to climb up on the Statue of Liberty and annoy everyone in the country on the 4th of July?
What's the answer to that question? Did she win over any supporters with this?
No, I mean, the only people who are into this are the people who already support her. But I guess that's where we are in the country at this point, is that everybody's...
Number 3. Transgender. In the clip that you're about to see, Ben is asked about a previous statement that he made about transgender people. Ben holds nothing back and shuts down this argument with a quite controversial opinion, and let's just say people were shocked by this.
So, how do you say that some people don't have privilege when you basically just said that trans people aren't valid? They're not a thing. They're just girls pretending to be boys or boys pretending to be girls.
Okay. Oh, someone's excited. Okay.
Biological, but gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So.
It's not completely disconnected, but it's still a cultural thing. It's still from society.
Okay. No, it is not in the mind. Okay, you're not a man if you think you're a man. And I didn't say pretending, or if I did, I shouldn't have said pretending. Let me amend.
After the question has been asked, Ben starts talking about his views on transgender people, saying that they are just women pretending to be men and vice versa. Like I said, many people disagree with the message he is sending. What do you think?
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl or a girl who thinks he's a boy, which is technically what we're talking about here. As far as the actual psychological issues at play, it used to be called gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder. Now they call it gender dysphoria. The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be.
Number 4. Laughter. In this clip, Ben Shapiro has yet another extremely controversial opinion that makes the whole crowd laugh at him. However, he quickly stood up for his opinion and didn't retreat it. He defended his opinion even though some people would have considered it laughable.
How can you argue that racism is not a driving factor in income inequality?
Because it has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. And when you have a culture that doesn't... You know what? Explain to me. You explain to me why black kids aren't graduating high school. Explain that one to me. Explain to me why black kids are shooting each other in rates significantly higher than whites are shooting each other. Explain to me why 13% of the population is responsible for 50% of the murder. Explain to me why the number of blacks in black...
While he keeps getting laughed at and ridiculed for his opinion, he doesn't hold back on it as many others would. Instead, he keeps stating facts that help his point further. Do you think he's right?
Black kids in prison, not for innocent reasons, not for walking down the street and getting pulled into a prison, is so high.
Number 5. He said what? Surprise, surprise, this clip shows yet another controversial take that Ben Shapiro has on transgender people. And this time, the center of attention was Caitlyn Jenner, who Ben was talking about without using the right pronouns.
To come out transgender is horribly difficult, and being transgender is about the bravest thing you can do. Did she deserve the award?
65?
Yes.
Why are we mainstreaming delusion?
It's not delusion.
Why would you call it delusion?
Because Caitlyn Jenner, I'll call him Caitlyn Jenner.
No,
because
it's her. You're not being polite to the pronouns.
Because
disrespectful.
Okay, forget about the disrespect. Facts don't care about your feelings. It turns out that every chromosome, every cell in Caitlyn Jenner's body is male with the exception of some of his.
Later in the clip, the people around Ben get increasingly more frustrated and angry that Ben won't use the right pronoun when referring to transgender women. Later, he even gets threatened. What would you have done in this situation?
Sperm cells. It turns out that his brain structure is male.
Wait,
it turns out that he still has all of his male appendages. How he feels on the inside is irrelevant to the question of his biological sex.
I don't agree with that. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. She wants to be called she. I'm going to call her she.
In terms of the science behind gender dysphoria, you're very familiar with that, Zoe.
Very familiar.
It's not about the chromosome. Excuse me, the chromosomes within our
both know
nuclei. Yeah, go ahead.
Chromosomes don't necessarily mean you're male or female.
Gender.
So in conclusion, Ben Shapiro is one of the most stubborn yet smart people out there. He never backpedals one of his arguments and sticks to it, even if it's seen as controversial. Well, that brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, then leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. And with that being said, if you liked this video, watch one of the 2 videos on your screen. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in another video.